because people kept telling me, you want to get a Solo stove. This is bigger than my Solo Stove Ranger. Is it bigger? Is it better? We will find out. I'm going to open it and have a look at it and see what it is. And I'm going to briefly show you some accessories which I've got for it, which are going to take the whole usage of this to a complete other level. And I'm also going to be addressing some of your comments where you've said, I can see smoke on your smokeless fire pit. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later on. Now this is the Bonfire 2.0, and you might have already seen I've got the Ranger already, and I absolutely love it. And like many of you, I love to sit around the campfire, just talking things about van life, talking about places to go, things to do, places to visit, and obviously our dream van upgrades. Now this Bonfire is bigger than the Ranger I've got, and it sits above the Ranger, but below the Yukon, which is even bigger than this. And since actually getting this, because yeah, I've actually had it for quite some time, although I haven't actually opened it, you can now actually get it in different colours. You might have seen that some people have got the Mesa, those tabletop stoves, and they've come in different colours. Well, now for the Bonfire, you can actually get them in colours as well. So let's stop messing around and let's just get on it. Yeah, I have undone that bit, but I haven't taken it out. So what do we get? It's going to be very similar to the Ranger. So if you have seen the Ranger, it might be similar, but bigger. But like I said, is it better? Now this is the ring. Flip the ring. Flip your flame ring. We've got the stand. Now, the stand is very useful. And I'm going to show you a little bit later on, because this is going to be pretty much the same as the Ranger, but on a bigger scale. In that, the actual bottom of the fire pit probably won't get hot. And especially when you've got this underneath it, it's going to make sure that you can actually put it on grass or any other surface, and it isn't going to damage the surface because it's just so good. Got plenty of instructions. Don't need the instructions, used it a lot already. We've got the cover. Now this cover is not just a cover, it's actually a carrying case, and you can carry it around really easily. I'll show you the one which I've got for the Ranger. I've got the Ranger here, but it's just out of shot. Very silly of me. I'm a bit amateur at things like this. Bit of polystyrene. And then we've got this base plate, an ashtray for the big bits, and also putting the wood to start the fire. Effectively what you do, this goes in the bottom of the stove, and you put your wood on that. So you put your wood on it, you put the lighters on it, and then you light it. And the beauty about this is, because this is removable and it collects the ash, this is the part which you remove. You can get rid of your ash quite easily. There's no concern about having to tip it away, picking up your fire pit and tipping it in a bin, which obviously you certainly wouldn't do when hot, but it's a bit of a problem to do when it's even cool. Right, let's get the big beast out itself. So as you can see, it is a big boy. Let's get that box out of the way, eh? Or otherwise you're not actually going to see it, are you? Let's do a bit of tidying up. So here it is, and what an absolute beauty it is, absolutely looking perfect. So this is the ash pan, and this collects the ash. The smaller remains of the burnt wood drop through the base plate into this ash pan, and the base plate collects the unburnt charcoal. So that sits in the bottom there. The base plate sits on top of there nicely. We've obviously got the stand, so I can put the stand underneath, and there we go. So that is a beautiful looking stove. Shouldn't really do that, I might hurt my fingers. And there you go, the ring is flipped and it is sat on there, lovely. So now we need to get some wood on it and get it going. So like the other stoves, I'm going to be using kindling wood. So a bit of kindling wood in here. Stick a few blocks of kindling wood in to get it going. Make a nice little pattern. Don't really know what I'm doing. But to be quite honest with you, you don't need to know what you're doing, because these are so easy to actually start. I've got the starter packs. So the starter, this comes from Solo, and I've I've used these and they are brilliant. I know you can get lots of different brands, but why not stick with the ones which have actually been designed to use it? So I'm actually just going to use one. So I'm going to put one in there. I've got the wood nicely on there, and I've got the lighter. Obviously, safety. Don't want to be sticking my fingers in there, do I? There we go. There we go. So use one starter there, and that's going to be starting that wood. So the wood is going to get going now. Ah! Remember that at the end of these, if you've actually had them on, fire is hot. That flipping heart. Should get all that underwater, but as you can see, the fire is going nicely now. So as this starts to build and all of this kindling wood starts to get going, we need to kind of put some bigger stuff on there. Now, as far as the technology of this is concerned, it is very similar to the other ones. It's 504 stainless steel, which looks absolutely beautiful. And like I've said, you can get the ones now which are colour, and some might argue that they look even better. You've not got them in their brand colours, but I don't know if you realise that it's not quite my brand colour, but it's not far off it. I quite like that. So as we can see now, this fire is getting going, so I think it is nearly time to start putting some wood on. And this is part of the problem which some people are saying, which I'm having as far as the smoke's concerned. I'll come on to that in a moment. So just talking a bit about this technology. So like I've said, we've got this removable ash pan. So that just means that at the end of the day, at the end of the evening, when it's all cooled down, it's just as easy as taking out that ash pan and then just disposing of the ash when it is cold. Do not put hot ash in a bin. I have seen people do that before and start fires, which I'm probably sure quite a lot of you have as well. It's just a really simple and effective way of getting rid of it. Just simple. As I've said, it's 504 stainless steel, which means it's really lightweight. You can carry it, like it said, it comes with a carrier bag, and with it only weighing, I think it's just over 10 kilograms, it's really quite easy to carry. Now I call it a carry bag, but Solo actually call it a carry case. Looks more like a bag than a case to me. As good as it is, it's not really something I'd call a case. It is very strong, durable material. It is really good. It's got the drawstring at the top so you can pull it tight, and then it's got the carry handles on it as well. Definitely needs some more wood. Right, so here we go. So this is the hardwood. I've actually left the gloves in the van. I do normally wear gloves when I do this, as I've shown you in my Christmas video, and that is obviously a much better way of doing it because you don't singe your hairs on your finger. Smelling skin. Ugh. Singed hair. Not a great smell, is it? Let's get some of this on here. These are not particularly big chunks, but it'll be enough to get it going nicely. And as we've seen, as far as lighting it, it's really, really easy. You know, sometimes I'm sure you might have seen in the past, if you've had barbecues and bonfires, which if you're into camper vans, I'm pretty sure you have. And they can be sometimes quite difficult to light. Obviously now with the modern barbecue things, what do you call them, the kind of chimney things, you can light coals and that, and yeah, that is obviously much easier than it used to be. But still, it's a bit of a faff. But this, it's really straightforward and really easy, like I did, you know, just a few little blocks of kindling and it just gets going. And that's beautiful. It's looking really nice. I hope you can see that on the camera. I love my Solo stoves. I genuinely do. When I talk about it with the passion I do, it is genuine passion because I absolutely love these, really do. So the simpleness, the easiness, the effectiveness of lighting it as simple as you do, that's to do with the airflow. And that's this 360-degree signature airflow. Now, as you can probably see, inside you've got ventilation, you've got the holes, and also outside you've got the holes as well. And what it does is air is drawn in from the bottom all the way around, hence 360 degrees, comes up, and as it comes up the side of the stove, the fire pit, it heats it up with the flames, and then it's warmer coming out the top, which means it burns off the smoke which you get. Now, I can see a little bit of smoke, although I have actually been keeping an eye on it, and there isn't actually an awful lot, but there is a reason why there is a little bit of smoke, but I'll come to that in a moment. But first, I need to step back a bit because these fire pits don't half get warm. And probably a little bit to the side because you might not even be able to see me. So what we've got here with this second burn is, like I've said, the air is heating it up and it's coming through, but I can see that there's smoke below the level of that. The heat which is being produced will burn it away, so there's not so much. Now I'm not sure, is it smoke I can see, or is it just the actual extreme heat, because this is actually pretty warm. There is some smoke, and I know there is some smoke. Although I can't smell it, I do know that there is a bit, and the reason I know that there is a bit is because this wood isn't dry, completely dry. Now, for there to be no smoke, you need proper dry wood. Now, if you leave your wood outside in the damp, in the moisture, and it isn't going to be dry. So all these kiln dried logs, which you can buy from petrol stations and places like that, a lot of them are kept outside in the open, and they do retain quite a lot of moisture, and it's that moisture which is in this wood, which doesn't matter how hot this fire actually gets, it isn't going to burn away all that moisture which is in there. So that is why you do get some smoke, and I can see it now. And you're not going to know whether I'm telling the truth or not, but I genuinely can't actually smell it. It isn't the same as a normal fire where you are sat around a bonfire and you've got the smoke kind of coming all over you and you can smell it. Although it's there, it's right in front of me, I can't actually smell that smoke. It's kind of different to the normal smoke. It's I don't really know how to explain it. But speak to other owners. Just don't take just my word on it. Speak to other people who have them. I know loads of people who've got campervans do have these stoves. That's one of the reasons why I did get this, because people kept telling me, you want to get a solo stove, get a solo stove, they are amazing, they're smokeless, you don't smell the smoke, this, that and the other, blah, blah, blah. And also on feeds on your social media, it's popping up, these amazing looking stoves, which you think, yeah, that's far too good to be true. It isn't far too good to be true, because I hope you can see on the cameras that this is really as good as it looks. It is a fantastic looking fire pit and really effective. I'm really quite warm. I need this fire pit a little bit further away from me really, because I can certainly feel the heat. Another accessory which you can get for it though is the heat deflector. You can get a heat deflector which kind of sits on the top and it kind of pushes that heat out. So if we were sat around and we're having a few drinks and having a chat about what vans we want to get next, do we want to buy the new T7? Do we want to go electric as far as the hybrid and the multivan's concerned? Is an ID Buzz on our list? Lots of these different kind of conversations. Or are we going to go to the beach paddleboarding or kayaking tomorrow? All that, we're nice and warm whilst we're having our cold drinks around the fire. It's brilliant. It is a brilliant product. I really, really enjoy being around it. I love it, absolutely love it. Now, as far as this one's concerned, I've got a brilliant accessory, which I haven't opened, and I am going to be opening right now and doing a separate video on it. And that is the Pi Fire. The Pi Fire pizza oven. Yes, a pizza oven for a fire pit, combining two of my favourite things. I do love being around the campfire, the fire pit. I do love that. And I also love pizza. I actually built a pizza oven in lockdown. It's not that amazing. It's not as good as hopefully this one's going to be, but I do really like my pizza. So that is an accessory which I've got for it. But I've also got some accessories for my Ranger as well, which I've not shown you yet. Again, cooking accessories, things which are going to be making fantastic meals for me. And I can't wait to also unbox those and bring them out. Really do like these solo products. But back to this one, and like I've said, it comes in various different colours. You can get it in all those different options. Have a look at the website, and if you are interested in one, then I do actually have a discount code. If you use Staycation 10, you can actually get a 10% discount. Now, I don't earn anything from that 10% discount, so you don't need to be worrying thinking I'm going to have to use it to support you. Don't worry about that. I don't actually earn anything, because I know that some people have said to me, thanks, I am going to buy it, but I can't use your code, because if I use this code, I get a free Mesa tabletop, or I get whatever it is. You can't use more than one discount code at the same time. So don't feel like you have to use that, but it's 10% discount there if it is. I genuinely love these products, and it was me who actually reached out to Solo after being demonstrated them from all those other people that made me actually, I want to use your product. I want to use your product for my Firepit Campervan Conversation series, which is coming back very, very soon. There's lots of guests lined up for that. So if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe and see my new Pie Fire pizza oven coming out. You can see my Firepit Campervan Conversations. You can see me talking about campervans. And maybe you might see me at the NEC show in a couple of weeks' time. I can't wait to see that. Not so much new campervans, more new products. Things like the Solo stove, and I think Solo may well be there themselves. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Please do let me know in the comments what you think of it. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon.